Hey everyone, it's Melinda with Tailored and Teal, and welcome to another What Sold video. These are sales on Poshmark, Mercari, eBay, and Curtsy from December 16th through December 31st of 2023. So first of all, I want to apologize for not having a video out last week. I do try to post a video every 6 days, but unfortunately I had to go home for a family emergency. Everything is okay now, but it was a very scary 2 days, but I am back now. So I just wanted to kind of explain what happened, and I appreciate you being patient with me. So normally we start on Mercari, but I had no sales on Mercari. In fact, I had 0 sales on Mercari for the entire month of December, which honestly is quite alarming and really never happens. I at least have 1 or 2 sales. I had none, but I did have 2 sales on Curtsy. The first sale on Curtsy was a patent leather belt. This had a gold crescent-like shape as the belt buckle. I do believe that there was something that was supposed to be in the crescent moon, like there was glue residue left over from whatever was in there falling out, but everything else on the belt was in good condition. I did notate that in the description, and it still sold for $11. And then the second and last sale on Curtsy was a Madewell soft leather duffel style satchel crossbody purse. This unfortunately wasn't in the greatest condition. I did my best to clean both the inside and the outside, but it was heavily pre-loved. I did, of course, disclose all of that information in the description. The purse sold for $30. I did have it listed around $45. That was just based off of comparable sold listings, and I honestly couldn't find this particular purse listed anywhere, so I wasn't really sure how to price it, but I was very happy with that $30 offer. And of my 2 sales on Curtsy, they totaled $41 in total sales. There was only $5.64 in fees, giving me a profit of $35.36. And not that it really matters because I only had 2 sales, but the average sales price for each item that sold was $20.50. Something I forgot to mention in the beginning of the video when I was talking about the family emergency, I did put my Poshmark Closet, Mercari store, Curtsy store, I'm not really sure what you call it, on vacation mode so nobody could purchase my items. But I put my eBay store on time away, which means that people can still purchase items from me, but they will be notified that it will be a long time until I ship them. I only ended up having 1 sale on eBay throughout the whole time that I was gone. It was kind of expected. I'm not really worried about it, but I did just want to let you know that one of the reasons why I didn't have a lot of sales is because I had to shut things down for just a little bit. So moving on to Poshmark, where I had 2 sales. 2 sales for 2 weeks. It's just not good. The first sale was a universal thread, curvy, skinny, medium wash stretch jeans. I don't remember exactly where these came from, probably some type of thread up denim box or mystery box or something like that, but they sold for $11 with no discounted shipping. And then the second and last sale on Poshmark was a lot of 40 silver and gold tone thin band rings for crafting, upcycling, or to wear. And this sold for $12 with discounted shipping. So of my 2 Poshmark sales, I made $23 in sales, $5.90 in fees. I only gave out 1 shipping discount, so that was $2.02, giving me a profit of $15.08. My average sales price for those 2 items was $11.50. Next up, we move on to eBay, where I had 10 sales. The first sale on eBay was a gunmetal gray skinny metal flat chain link belt. It had like a little pendulum that dangled down as kind of like a decoration. This came out of one of my Shop Goodwill belt unboxings, and it sold for $12.74. Next up, we have another belt from yet another Shop Goodwill belt unboxing. It was a 9 West deep red leather Western style belt that had all this pretty white stitching that was kind of decorative. It was a size extra large, and it sold for $13.50. The next item was yet another belt. It was a Banana Republic cheetah animal print calf hair leather skinny belt. It was a size extra small, and it sold for $10. Next up was a Lily Pulitzer Blackjack and the Seven Seas printed reversible wrap mini skirt. So this skirt was called the Blackjack pattern because on the front of it, it had a bunch of, I think they were either like tigers or lions, but they were playing poker and they were drinking martinis. And then if you reversed it, on the inside was a pink and white pattern called the Seven Seas, and it had all kinds of like sea life, like seahorses and starfish kind of hidden into the print. It was super cool. I was very excited to find it in the thrift store, and it sold for $23. I do have both of my dogs in here, and one of them is snoring away peacefully in the corner. I do keep waking her up to stop her from snoring, but then she literally just goes back to snoring. So I apologize if you can hear that in the background. Next up is a lot of 5 vintage designer stamped silver and gold tone chain necklaces. The brands were Monet and Merlite. There might have been another one in there, and the whole lot sold for $14. Then we have a pair of Zumba fitness pants that took forever to sell. I've had these since 2020, and I bought a whole bunch of Zumba pants at the same thrift store right around the same time. The other 2 pairs of pants flew out of my closet, like within a couple of weeks of me listing them, but these just kind of hung around, maybe because they were kind of boring and not really colorful. They were just black, but they were a black spell out nylon exercise dance capri pants. They did have a jogger style capri look to them, and they sold for $13.59. Next up is a Reed and Barton silver soldered individual single teapot. On the bottom, it did name a New York hospital. I forget which one specifically. I purchased this and a lot of other silver plated items in a barn sale. And this one was such a cool piece of history. Like back in the late 1800s or early 1900s is probably when this was used. And it sold for $42.49. Next up is a Banana Republic blue all over lace flutter sleeve, short sleeve polo blouse. I sourced this from ThreadUp when we were on lockdown, right when COVID started happening. It did take 3 years to sell, and it sold for $11. Next up is a Talbot's striped thick knit 100% cotton pullover blouse. It was a size large. It was very like preppy, nautical, and kind of coastal looking. So I did put coastal and preppy in my title, and it sold for $10. This did sell once before, but it got returned. So I'm happy that it sold a second time, and hopefully it doesn't come back. And then the last sale on eBay was a DVD set. This actually had 2 discs in it, and it was the Michael Jackson History Book #1, and it was the past, present, and future. It was from 1995. This was one of my own CDs. It sold for $7.99, and that was the only sale that I had while I was gone for the family emergency. So of my 10 eBay sales, I had $158.31 in sales. I made a shipping profit of $17.54. There were $38.16 in fees, giving me a profit of $137.69, and my average sales price for each item that sold was $15.83. And now moving on to my total numbers, where I had 14 sales. I made $222.31 in sales, $34.18 in fees, $51.45 in cost of goods this time, giving me an overall profit of $136.68. And my average cost of goods for each item that sold was $3.68. So as you can see, not a ton of sales the last 2 weeks of December. And unfortunately, because I put my closets and stores in vacation mode or time away, I'm really struggling to start making sales at the beginning of the year. So I hope that I have more sales to report from the first 2 weeks of January, but there are no promises. You never know what's going to happen. I will be doing a 2023 recap video where I kind of go over everything I sold. I go over some highs and some lows. And I didn't do that for 2022 because it was a very depressing year in terms of tanking in sales, but I do think it is important to show the good, the bad, and the ugly. So look forward to that video soon. Thank you so much for tuning in and watching this video. And as always, I will see you in the next one. Bye.